So I would like to first off welcome everyone and call to order the Monday, April 6, 2026 meeting of the Lake Zurich Village Board. Acting Clerk Anna Weldon, filling in for Clerk Kathleen Johnson. Please call the roll.
Mayor Poynton,
Here.
Trustee Bardwash,
Here.
Trustee Marks,
Here.
Trustee Spicone,
Present.
Trustee Chagru,
Here.
Trustee Wider,
Present.
Trustee Riley is absent and excused.
Okay, thank you. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for residents to comment briefly on matters included on the agenda and otherwise of interest to the Board of Trustees. Public comment is limited to 30 minutes in total and up to 5 minutes per speaker. And we will take public comments from the sign-in sheet in the order in which people signed in. When you step to the podium, please speak clearly into the microphone, identify yourself with your name and address for the record, and please direct your comments to the board. I have one person on the sign-in sheet, and it is Ronnie Binder. Ronnie?
Ronnie Binder,
Sorry,
21946 North Farthingdale Court, Deer Park, Illinois. This is in regards to was formerly known as the Regal Theater area on Rand Road, 755 Rand Road, and I'm assuming from here on will be known as the future site of the Springs apartment complex. I'd like to let you know, in case you are unaware, that the 12-acre beautiful forest that was growing there for a good 40, 50 years is now gone, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I'd like to remind you, the traffic impact report that was done before this plan was approved did not include the crossings, the crosswalks that were added on later on June Terrace and across Rand Road. I can tell you that one of you, and don't worry, I am not going to call you out, one of you told me on the phone that they are already avoiding Rand Road altogether in terms of traffic, that it is already unbearable, and adding over 400 cars to this traffic is something that is just plain a mistake. That's not what they said, that's mine. I'd like to remind you that IDNR did a site visit to that area in February, where everything was covered in snow and frozen, so any migrating birds were not in the area. Any possible plants, endangered species of plants or birds, were non-existent at that time. The summer before that, there was another survey that was done at an adjacent territory right next to it, where they found 4 species of endangered birds and recommended that if any work be done, to please send a biologist to further investigate. That was not done. Dr. Galt was here to talk about the impact on the schools. I think we all saw that, I'm pointing at that because it was on that screen, that our elementary schools were in the red zone in terms of capacity and ability to absorb more children. The Springs is assuming that they will be bringing around 30 elementary school children, and as I said, the elementary schools are already in the red zone and at capacity. That was, yep. Okay. On October 15th, there was a presentation of the Springs that required, it was that 4-hour long meeting that, yep, I'm sure some of you remember, that required, they were asked to come back with additions, with improvements, with changes. Throughout that time, between October 15 and October 22, myself and my neighbors, who, if you haven't, yes, so I'd like to remind you, are right up against that property, repeatedly called the Planning and Zoning Commission office, asking, when can we see these new plans? We'd like to see these new plans. We were told that they're not there, the plans have not been submitted, and lo and behold, on October 22nd, at the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, the plans were not only existent, they were posted on the website an hour and a half before the meeting. Us neighbors who are most impacted by it were not told, were not notified, and apparently the board members were notified because they had enough time to go through it, review the entire thing, and approve it on the spot. Okay. Next. On March 18, that final plan was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission. According to the village board meeting minutes, there was still no submission from Portillo's to be a part of that area. And at the time, the Seven Brew contractor who bought that property, his declaration was, if there is no Portillo's, there is no apartment complex. They have not, as far as we know, unless there's a disclosure issue that I'm missing, as far as we know, Portillo's has not yet signed anything. They haven't approved anything. They haven't requested to move into the area. But it did not stop the tractors, the chainsaws, the morning after that approval. Chainsaws and the tractors came in and destroyed everything.
Round your 5 minutes is up.
Ah, okay.
So could you summarize, please?
Yes, these last 5-6 weeks I've been dumbfounded by our world leaders who are making inhumane decisions, causing despair and destruction to millions of people out of pure greed and in pursuit of power. I ask myself, how is it possible that these leaders are getting away with causing so much harm when all people want to do is live in peace with each other, with nature and the environment? Now, when I wonder how this is possible, all I have to do is look 5 feet past my backyard and I have my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Ronnie was the only one on the sign-up sheet. Is there anyone, I'll give you one more chance if anyone else would like to speak at public comment. Not seeing anybody make a move, so we will close public comment for tonight and move on to the president's report. Tonight we have oaths of office for 2 new police officers. Chief Steve Husak will handle the intro and background, and I will handle the actual swear-in. So, Chief, I'll meet you at the podium.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Thank you, Village Board, for giving us a few minutes. It's always exciting to welcome new officers to our ranks. And so tonight we have two of our newest officers. First one's Officer Michael Kondich. Michael, you want to come up and join me up here? Michael started with us in August of 2025. He then attended the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy at the College of DuPage for 16 weeks. He successfully completed that, and then he started into our in-house field training program, which is another 14-week program, and was successful there, and then just a couple weeks ago was released on his own to solo patrol. So we're happy that Michael made it through all that. Michael has a bachelor's degree from Governor State University, and prior to joining the Lake Zurich Police Department, he worked for the Department of Veteran Affairs as a police officer in North Chicago for the past 4 years, and he's currently serving on the day shift. So Michael is going to get sworn in by the mayor.
Okay, let's go up here, Michael.
Yes, sir. There you go, Mayor.
Oh. Let's get up in front of the logo here. Okay, Michael, raise your right hand. I, Michael A. Kondich,
I, Michael A. Kondich,
having been appointed to the position of police officer
having been appointed to the position of police officer
in the Village of Lake Zurich Police Department,
in the Village of Lake Zurich Police Department,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and enforce the laws of the Village of Lake Zurich while faithfully protecting lives and property as I discharge the duties of police officer to the best of my abilities.
and enforce the laws of the Village of Lake Zurich while faithfully protecting lives and property as I discharge the duties of police officer to the best of my abilities.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you later. Is he a referral?
So as many times the tradition, young Alex, 14-month-old young Alex, is sick at home tonight. And so Nicole, Michael's wife, has to stay home and take care of Alex. So we're sad that she's not here to pin the badge on, but hopefully he's watching at home, and we wish them the best of luck. So thank you for that time. Next, Officer Mackenzie Velchik. Mackenzie, you want to come and join me? So Mackenzie also started in August of 2025, and she and Michael went to the same police academy class at the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. Went through the 16 weeks, successfully completed that, and then began the 14-week in-house field training program, which she was successful in as well. She's been released to solo patrol now about a week ago, and so we're happy to have her doing that. Mackenzie has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice with minors in psychology and sociology from Elmhurst University. She was also a 3-year letter winner as a goalkeeper for the soccer team. Mackenzie also has a master's degree in criminal justice from Lewis University, and she comes from a police family. Her father was the police chief in Mattoon, Illinois, and she's currently serving on the afternoon shift and actually changed out of her exterior vest carrier to put on a fancy shirt just to come over for this tonight. So she's on the road right now. So we appreciate her being here and her family. So I will turn it over to you, Mayor, and Mackenzie.
All right, Mackenzie, you ready? Okay, raise your right hand, please. I, Mackenzie M. Velchek,
I, Mackenzie M. Velchek,
having been appointed to the position of police officer in the Village of Lake Zurich Police Department,
having been appointed to the position of police officer in the Village of Lake Zurich Police Department,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and enforce the laws of the Village of Lake Zurich while faithfully protecting lives and property as I discharge the duties of police officer to the best of my abilities.
and enforce the laws of the Village of Lake Zurich while faithfully protecting lives and property as I discharge the duties of police officer to the best of my abilities.
Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah. Yes. Come right back up. Mackenzie's mom, Dinah, is going to pin her badge on her.
Got a clip on it. She has a clip on it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You're now free to write tickets to anybody in the audience if you want to, so. Okay, that's it for the president's report. We move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda, the titles on the consent agenda will be read by the clerk and approved by a single roll call vote. Any item may be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion or separate vote by any member of the board. Anna, please read the titles.
Approval, 6A, approval of minutes from the Village Board meeting of March 16th, 2026. 6B, approval of executive session minutes from the meeting of March 2nd, 2026. 6C, approval of the semi-monthly warrant register of April 2nd, 2026, totaling $1,890,452.90. 6D, ordinance approving a variation granting relief from the maximum gross floor area and setback requirements in the rear yard at 450 North Old Rand Road. 6E, authorization to purchase a 2027 bucket truck. 6F, authorization to purchase a 2026 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicle. 6G, resolution releasing a letter of credit surety for JP Morgan Chase Bank at 455 South Old Rand Road. 6H, approval of a contract for the 2026 concrete flat work program with Suburban Concrete, Inc.
Okay, thank you. Are there any board questions, or is discussion desired on any item, or would anyone like any item pulled for a separate vote? Good down here.
I just had a quick question
Mark's
for
Pacone.
Mike Brown. The concrete repair work, is there any area of the community we're focused on, or is it just a fill-in in a variety of spaces all over town?
No, this year primarily is Hunter's Creek, I think is the majority of the work that's going to be done this year. And then depending on how far the budget gets us, we then would move on beyond that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Nope. Okay, then may I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as it was presented? Motion first, please.
So moved, Spacone.
And a second?
Second, Marks.
Mark and Marks.
Funky book.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Bardwaj,
Aye.
Trustee Marks,
Aye.
Trustee Spacone,
Aye.
Trustee Chagru,
Aye.
Trustee Wider.
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda passes, thank you. We'll move on now to new business, item 7A. Trustee Riley's not here. Trustee Wider, want to take that one?
Ordinance approving budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year 2026, or for the fiscal year 2026 budget to adjust staffing positions. Ordinance 2026046661. In summary, the village has conducted a review of its organizational structure, staffing levels, and compensation practices to ensure efficient service delivery and competitiveness within the municipal labor market. Recommended changes include reclassifying a part-time risk management coordinator position to full-time human resource generalist, reclassifying one recreation supervisor position as an assistant recreation director, eliminating one full-time engineering position, and implementing a salary adjustment for select accountant and public works supervisor position based on market comparisons. These adjustments are intended to better align resources with operational needs and support employee recruitment and retention. The associated budget impacts are detailed in attachment A.
Okay, Ray, you handling this one?
Tag team.
Tag team?
So from time to time, we do a scan of our organization, both internally and externally, and we look for our comps, and we look for those positions that are no longer were included in the budget, but are not needed, the positions that we find that there is additional staffing resources that are needed in order to fulfill our obligations, and adjustments to the salaries to stay competitive with the key positions in the organization. I'm going to turn it over to HR Director Doug Gibson. He doesn't get to speak very often, but he will give you a little bit of a walkthrough of how we got here.
I'll give you the short version. There's not a more dedicated group of public servants that we have working for the Village of Lake Zurich. We do keep our eye on the market and for some of the positions, so when we have opportunities that arise, we need to take advantage to make sure that we're able to retain those individuals, and also if we ever need to recruit for those positions there. So we have some very deserving individuals that are moving up in ranks. So in our recreation, as mentioned in the memo there, our recreation supervisor, Jenna Stananek, is being promoted to assistant rec director there for her years of service, and a need has arose in the department. So workflow, as you know, they do a lot of special events, need a little extra attention to some details there. So we're also moving our risk management coordinator, who is assisting us as our deputy clerk at this moment, to a full-time position, human resources generalist, if she ever clears up her duties as deputy clerk. We do have some issues. You have to pay attention to finance. We have some accountants that we want to make sure we're paying market wages for, as well as some of our supervisors in public works that have, again, been doing a fantastic job. We'd like to hold on to them, and the market is really trying to heat up and take them away. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Okay. Any questions on the board?
Just have to keep pushing that we have a pension and they can't get that in private industry
100%.
as we recruit. You got that, HR generalist? Okay.
No, sir. Folks? No? Anybody else? No. Okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the ordinance and budget amendment as presented.
Second, please.
Second, Shagru.
Roger. And please call the roll.
Trustee Marks?
Aye.
Trustee Spacone?
Aye.
Trustee Shagru?
Aye.
Trustee Weider?
Aye.
Trustee Bardwash?
Aye.
Okey-doke. That passes. Thank you. Next item, 7B, Trustee Spacone.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a big one, right, Mike Brown? I see a lot of heads shaking over there. This is a big one. Approval of a contract for the construction of the Oakwood Booster Pump Station and Water Storage Reservoir Facility. In summary, staff solicited bids for the construction of a booster pump station and 1 million gallon water storage reservoir facility, a key first phase of the Lake Michigan Water Initiative to transition from groundwater to a sustainable Lake Michigan water supply. The project includes site improvements, enhanced architectural design, and public amenities, and will be funded primarily through the Illinois EPA State Revolving Loan Fund. 3 bids were received, with William Brothers Construction Incorporated submitting the lowest qualified bid. The total project budget, including construction, alternates, contingency, and engineering, is estimated at $22,854,200.
Thank you, sir. Michael? Michael Brown.
Is it crazy that I have goosebumps about this project? Long time coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long time coming. This is historical for all of us, and a lot of hard work went into this. It's a great project. It's as I said, historical moment for Lake Zurich. But what we have here tonight, if you choose to approve, is phase 1 of construction of our Lake Michigan Water Project, which is the Oakwood Booster Pump Station. This project construction would take place late July and take us into and through, most likely, into 2027. Happy to say that bids were fantastic. I know it's a large number, but coming right out of the gate, it's looking like we probably saved about $10 million in bids being the way they are. That's great news. That's less on the back end, and it accelerates some of the things that we wanted to do early. So I'm happy to take any questions. One more note I think I'll put out there is Rita and I were looking at the current interest rates for the IEPA loan, and it's sitting at about 1.6%. So
That's amazing.
it's great.
Yeah. Can I ask a question then, Rita? Can you explain why it's more favorable at this point to go through the IEPA State Revolving Loan Fund and how that differs from any other way that we would have financed that? Because I know we've got a lot of different funding mechanisms for this project. And if you can kind of go over that part of it for us so that people, the public can understand why we went this route.
Sure. The IEPA loan is the least interest expense that you'll have almost with any type of debt because it is somewhat funded by the IEPA. There's also federal funding involved as well, so they're able to provide for a lower interest rate. We are getting currently 1.62. CLC Jawa is actually almost a 2.1, which is their current rate stated on their website. But if you would look at a regular alternative revenue source bond, that's closer to 6% right now because that's the market. You have to go out into the market to get those bonds. There's also a lot more additional fees from attorneys' fees, closing fees and things like that. We do not have those expenses with the IEPA loan. I think probably the biggest benefit outside of the interest rate per se is the fact that we do not start paying on that loan until the project is substantially completed. So they keep giving us the money, we pay our vendor, we request the funds, and it just keeps rolling until the project is almost done, and then that interest loan begins. And it's at that interest rate of that day, so we do not know what it's gonna be like in, a year and a few months, but it is a far better deal, to be able to go through this process and to be able to use IEPA money.
And I'm sure our AAA bond rating doesn't hurt us in this process.
No, it does not.
Yeah,
Okay.
nor is this new information because this has been part of our funding package from the
Right.
get-go, correct?
That's absolutely correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Jake?
Yeah, well, Rita, you said the magic word, federal government. Just anybody following current events, is there any risk exposure to this funding source via what's coming from the federal government?
You talk to CDM Smith more.
Well, these funds are already secured and set aside, but I'd say, is there a chance for risk? Sure, but I feel pretty confident that, we've been approved, we've been in the funding program, and so therefore I have no concerns.
Okay.
And this is Illinois money, not federal money, correct?
That's correct, but it all comes out of kind of the same pot.
Okay, yeah.
So
sure.
part of the process is that, yes, even though it's coming from the state of Illinois, there is a portion, we don't actually know the portion of federal funds until the end of the fiscal year. And then we pretty much get a letter, because then we'll know if we have to do a single audit or not. So we won't even know for every distribution if it's federal or if it's state until the end of the year.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's good. Anybody else? No. Nope. Okay.
I'd like to say one last thing, Mayor. Just take a moment, the board, staff, everybody who took the time into this project. I mean, again, monumental moment, and pat yourselves on the back for making this move, because this is good for Lake Zurich.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. You? This your item?
This is my item.
Motion?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve a contract with William Brothers Construction Incorporated of Peoria, Illinois, in the amount of $18,308,000, with a total project budget not to exceed $22,854,200.
And a second, please.
Second, Marks.
Jake? Anna, please call the roll.
Trustee Spicone,
Aye.
trustee Chagru,
Aye.
trustee Weider,
Aye.
trustee Bardwash,
Aye.
trustee Marks.
Aye.
I just want to get the groundbreaking on my calendar.
Gulp. Yes.
It's after the Bear Claw, but we haven't set an official date, so mid to late July.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. That motion passed. Okay. On our way to Lake Michigan Water.
On our way.
Okay. Next item is item C. This is trustee Marks. This is a courtesy review for 211 Sunrise Lane, and it is a non-voting item. So,
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So item C, courtesy review of 211 Sunrise Lane. In summary, the applicant is requesting a courtesy review for a planned unit development to construct a two-story, two-unit residential building along with a zoning map amendment from the R5 to R6 residential district. The development is designed to resemble a single-family home in a scale and materials to maintain compatibility with surrounding properties. The proposal meets parking and lot coverage requirements with a requested variation for a reduced rear setback along Rand Road. This review follows prior community interest in nearby development proposals and is intended to gather preliminary feedback from the Village Board.
Srosh?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. This statement pretty much captures the essence of what the developers want to do. We have worked with them pretty diligently, and they followed our recommendations in putting forward a design that is compatible with the surrounding properties. And the reason we recommended that they come before the village board for courtesy review is from prior interest in the development to the south, which was the former Joe's Barbershop property or the Andy's Deli property, which generated a lot of interest. And so in order to show the community the concept of what's being proposed here, we recommended that the owner and the developer present that concept to the village board. This evening, we have the owner, Mr. John Guciara, as well as his architect, Mr. Paul Gibas, here to make a brief presentation on what they've proposed thus far. This item is also being scheduled to be presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission at the upcoming April 15th meeting.
So this is the property on Rand Road that was the former Joe's Barber Shop?
No, this is the one north of it.
North
of it, immediately adjacent to the 6-unit residential property that Mr. Guciara currently owns.
Okay. Sir?
Yeah, so basically, I'd like to put this building, I think it'd be beneficial to everybody, because it'll be a nice rental unit, and I've had the other building for quite some time, and you know, because of the park and the beaches and everything, I think it's a really nice building for this area.
So do you have a presentation for us at all, or?
There is a presentation on the computer if you'd like to talk more about it, but there it is. That's the first slide of the presentation that we've just thrown up there, just showing the location as well as your plans in subsequent slides.
So
You
we're
can use
talking
the arrow
about the
keys.
property that's on the other side of Sunrise Terrace from Bob, which is now, I think, Bob Warren's property, which is already an apartment building, correct?
Yes, it's a vacant lot that was in between there.
There is a vacant lot there?
Yeah, that's a vacant lot.
Okay, it's at that end where the brand-new big house was put in?
Basically, I mean, I don't know how to show it to you, but it's right next to the building that I have there. There's a vacant lot there, so I'm trying to, you know,
Okay.
put something onto that, so it would fill it, because otherwise I'm not doing nothing with it, you know?
Okay.
Could we go to the next slide? I don't know who's controlling the slides, but they seem to be advancing. Go to the first elevation slide, which is the next slide. There you go. Mr. Gibas, if you want to just explain these slides, you can actually ask for them to be advanced as you talk along.
Yes, we tried to design the building to resemble a single-family house. We used similar materials and pitches of the roof that kind of fit the neighborhood. I mean, it is what it is. It fits the neighborhood, I believe. It's a nice addition to the neighborhood, and it's a 2-unit house that looks like a single-family house. 2-unit house.
So
You can advance the slides.
Yeah.
Side elevations.
would one unit get the two-car part of the garage, and the other one get the one-car part of the
That is
part of the
correct.
garage?
That's correct.
That's correct. You can advance, correct, yeah.
Are there any water table issues over there with putting a basement in on that? I don't know what the surrounding properties, if they have
Yeah,
basements or not.
This is on the west side of Sunrise Lane, and
Yeah.
so it is a little higher in elevation
Issues.
than the ones at the lake, yeah.
Okay.
There's another building on the other side of the property I own, that actually has a basement.
basement.
It's a 10-foot basement.
Yeah.
It's a newer building as well.
You own that property?
No.
Okay. Okay, keep going.
Can you tell me about the guest parking permeable tiles? I see grass. I mean, I understand the concept. Is it a fake grass, or is it a grass? Is it something
It's
you're
real
looking
grass. So you got those plastic tiles you put in first with an underlayment, and then you put in regular
for? Put in
grass.
grass, just for the
Yes,
permeability
so
to
it
allow
holds
it?
the weight of the cars, yeah.
Gotcha.
They were looking to increase the sustainability of the site as well as try to meet the
permeable
minimum
space
landscape
also.
surface area.
I love that idea.
Okay.
Will the residents have lake rights?
Yeah, actually, the way the title was set up, that you could, both properties that I have, I mean, you have to pay additional to store a boat and stuff like that.
So
At another site.
where would they access the lake?
Well, there's the piers are on the other side, and I know that was granted, whoever, you know, but I'm not really looking to do any of that with that, you know, because that'd be an additional cost for somebody if they had to bring a boat, and then they'd have to rent from the other.
That's
Pier and all that.
really shoehorning that in there, huh? Right?
I like your use of the word shoehorn.
Any comments from the board? I mean, it's a bare bones courtesy review. We don't have an idea what it looks like, and I think it's right next to the one-story,
That is correct.
6 apartments, I think,
Yeah.
are there?
Yeah.
At the end of Sunrise Lane, and there's the house, and then there's the big house that was just built. I'm really interested in how they would even access the lake through any
Well,
place there.
Isn't there a published beach access?
There's a public beach area, and there's other properties that, you know, they're able to use the lake for what, you know, as long as you have the address.
I'm not sure if I get what you're saying there. I mean, Sarosh?
I don't believe this property has lake frontage. In order to have lake access rights, you do need lake frontage unless you're a member of an organization such as the Westlake Beach Club or the Lions Club that would then provide you access through their organization. But I'm not certain what the owner is intending to do.
So then they really don't have lake rights.
Not
Okay.
to store a boat on the lake because they do not have the frontage that is
They
necessary.
would have to go someplace else if that was available?
That
And
is right.
they kids can't walk through somebody's yard to use the
No, you
lake?
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
no.
so you don't have lake rights?
No.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you can tell us about the property, the development? Because this is your chance to sell us on this property, and
Well,
to
I
be
think
frank with you, you're not doing a real great job.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I mean, it's gonna be new construction. It's gonna be a beautiful building, you know, that it's gonna be able to be rented. So it'll provide the whole community, you know, additional, the young crowd, the older people that wanna stay in Lake Zurich and have a beach and a park that you have walking distance to it. So
Okay.
regardless whether it's a house or, you know, rental unit, I just prefer to have it as a rental unit, because I'm thinking it's gonna be beneficial to, more than just a single family, which, you know,
Okay.
you could have 2 families living as opposed to 1.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, that's the main goal of the whole thing.
Okay. Anybody on the board have any additional questions? It's a non-voting item. The rest will be up between you and the staff. There's nothing else that we have questions, so I guess we're finished, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, that's the end of our new business for tonight. We move on to trustee reports. Are there any trustee reports tonight from anybody? I want to hear about the styrofoam thing on Saturday, so you have a trustee report, Missy trustee.
What did we collect? A whole truck of styrofoam, right, for 2 hours? We were
Yeah.
busy the whole time.
It was at times overwhelming.
Yeah.
The number of people that are taking advantage of the opportunity of disposing of their styrofoam through a recycling place. So I don't think we've ever been overwhelmed as much. By the time the day ended, we were out of supplies and the trailer is full. I talked to DART this morning, and the trailer will be empty again as of sometime on Wednesday. And they're going to give us some new supplies. We also ordered up a new set of graphics for the side to accommodate the changed hours, which are, shameless plug, first and third Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it is right here in the parking lot for the American Legion. I did have a phone call this morning where somebody said, gee, I was over at Telser at Public Works, and there was nobody there. And that's correct. So it is right, Village Hall, back parking lot, the American Legion, and we'll be back, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
The following Saturday.
Where it's been for the last 4 years.
Yes, you're right.
We haven't moved it.
Okay.
And Michael, how do people sign up? Because it's volunteer, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, so we actually have a volunteer link on our website for being part of that, and we also put out some informational items. We have some thoughts on how people can store some of the styrofoam, such as stacking the egg cartons rather than having an armful of egg cartons, just to use the space more effectively. But each time we'll include, we are pretty well booked at the moment for volunteers, so we're excited about that. We may actually increase our volunteer count from 2 to 3, based on, I think there were 4 of us working.
4 of us working, we were still busy the whole time.
And we were busy the whole time, so we'll kind of match our count of volunteers to the demand.
Yes.
Okay.
I will be receiving some requests from people asking how can they sign up for
Fantastic.
volunteering. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll put the information back out. It'll be in benchmarks and always the village website and also on social media.
Perfect.
Can
Good deal.
Can I ask a question on that? Is there, I'm really excited that this program is taken off. It started off at a dinner conversation with my wife some time ago, and I brought it up as a mention here at a meeting, and Kyle ran with it to get it up and running. Kyle Cordell, former assistant village manager. And he took off and ran with it, and we now have this robust system here where we had to shut down and turn people away at some point because we're taking in so much and we're filling trucks. Is there a need and an opportunity to partner with someone to scale up this operation to be able to take on more as people have it? And I don't know what that would look like in terms of working with DART or someone else, to be able to scale up a little bit and maybe move this into a larger scale. I don't know. Is there money in this for companies to come in and do this for these recycling companies, where we start looking at an opportunity where maybe they set up in the industrial park and they buy some property or so? I don't know, so I'm just wondering.
Those are all great ideas and great questions as to where do we go next. We've looked at a possibility of a densifier that's on site, so we're not dealing with the bulk of the material as we're dealing with now.
Right.
I think over time, those are elements that we'll continue to explore to see where we can go. I think we're just super happy and excited that the American Legion is giving us their parking lot,
Right.
that we're essentially taking over on a Saturday morning to run the program. So great ideas. I appreciate those, and we'll look at what other possibilities are about scaling.
Just curious.
Yeah,
So-
it's, the element is always the collection, that's part one, and then also emptying the trailer.
Right.
We've had some issues in the past with DART not having the ability of actually picking up the material. I was informed today that they sent that program out of house. So to answer one of your questions, yes, I think there is money in it. There is no money in it for us, because for us it's just a recycling and collection opportunity.
Right.
But if they're sending a program out of house to have a third party run the trucks, I think there must be some money in it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, but there's also the environmental benefit that doesn't, not all those benefits have to have people making money, but this is
for
DART's
the
making
planet.
money, or somebody is, and that's fine. We're getting rid of styrofoam that would otherwise be in the landfills, so.
Yeah, the polystyrene recovery is really ideal, and that's really what this is all about. You don't have to create a new chemical base to make more polystyrene. You can use some of the materials that you already have. So those are all mixed in. So it's an exciting opportunity, and when you see the amount of styrofoam that we live with in packaging and what have you, there's a ton out there.
Yeah.
There were, I was there on Saturday morning, there was a guy who pulled up toward the end, who had pieces of styrofoam almost as big as his car.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the gentleman. Yeah, he had just moved into the
just,
community.
Yeah.
So those are all items that he had purchased to furnish his home, and that was the styrofoam that was used as packaging.
Yeah, so, okay, good deal. Anybody else? Staff reports, anybody? No? Nobody? Okay. That's the end of our regular business tonight. We will be adjourning to executive session, call for the purpose of 5 ILCS 120/2C21 review of executive session minutes, 5 ILCS 120/2C1 personnel, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS 120/2C6 setting the price for sale or lease of property, and 5 ILCS 120/2C11 probable or imminent litigation. There will be no voting action or board business discussed after closed session. The adjournment of executive session will be the final adjournment and the end of the meeting. So, may I have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's regular meeting to executive session? Motion first.
So move, Shagru.
Roger, and a second, please.
Second, Bharadwaj.
Sue?
Yes.
Thank you. Anna, please call the roll.
Trustee Spacone?
Aye.
Trustee Shagru?
Aye.
Trustee Weider?
Aye.
Trustee Barbwaj?
Aye.
Trustee Marks?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned to executive session. The next village board meeting is Monday, April 20th